अस्सलामु अलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिहिल करीम, अम्मा बाद, फ़अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम, बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली। That let's pause for a minute and try to understand how our relationships work with our parents. We feel generation gap in 101 things, in so many areas, and we don't know how to tackle those situations. We don't have same wavelength. Yes, we might be buddies with our parents. This is like one big struggle between kids and their parents. So let us try to understand the psyche of the parents. They can be naturally inclined towards one child because of obedience and gentleness. You have to understand that. Because if we are living with this feeling that my brother or my sister is the favorite of my parents, you have to look for the reason. And you can't just simply boil in your own emotions. Parents are so unfair. हमेशा उसको allow कर देते हैं, हमेशा उसकी side लेते हैं. You have to look for the reason why your parents are going to be inclined. A child can win over his parents' heart. It is very easy. All you have to do is go by whatever your parents want you to do. And we do it. We are experts at that. Let's say you need permission to go somewhere, or you need a raise in the pocket money. What do? How do you spend that day at home? Let's compare that day with another regular, normal day in your life. Let's say you don't need anything from your parents. You go home and your mother asks you, how was the day? What's our usual response? Theek tha. The usual. Nothing special. Or we just shrug our shoulders and we go to our room. And we just go, kya bana hai? Uff Allah, koi maze ki cheez banti hi nahi hai. Wohi bore khana. And your mother looks at you and she's like, जो खाना होता है बता दिया करो सुबह को. Why don't you tell us beforehand what you want to eat? या अगर वो चीज़ बनी भी है तो we are picking on it. इसमें नमक तेज़ है, इसमें वेजीज ठीक नहीं है, इसमें ये चीज़ ठीक नहीं है, इसके साथ ये क्यों नहीं है? And whenever your mother comes over there, and obviously because you are on Facebook, you are watching a movie, you are also, yes, side by side doing your studies. You look at your mom, you need something? I'm busy. Now, let's look at another scenario, similar scenario. You need permission to go somewhere, or you need some money, or anything else that you're desperate for. How are you going to behave on that day? You'll go home and you'll be like, Mom, you're the best mom. Oh, Mom, Ammi kya haal hai, aap theek hai? Khana bhi khayenge unke saath, because you have to please her. That makes her really happy. You'll put your bag and everything's in the right spot. You think your mom is not smart? She cannot pick all those signals? She does. But out of her love, she is not going to say a word to you. फिर हम उनके बाद बैठ भी जाएंगे. अम्मी क्या किया आज आपने सारा दिन? अम्मी आपके बाल इतने अजीब से लग रहे हैं, आपने कुछ किया नहीं. ला मैं आपको ऑयल कर दूं? अच्छा अम्मी आपकी मैं चीज़ें उठा दूं? अच्छा मुझे ना आपसे ये पूछना था. Then we take like couple of advices and we ultimately, when we see her smiling, we come closer to our target conversation, where we want to trap her. अभी वो पता है मेरी friends है ना, वो जा रही हैं, तो वैसे I didn't feel like going, but they were insisting. तो मैंने सोचा कि मैं आपसे पूछ लूँ कि वैसे मुझे पता है मुझे permission नहीं मिलेगी, या वैसे I know you have told me you're not going to give me the raise, but ये कि मुझे बहुत ज़रूरी चाहिए था. अम्मी please इस दफ़ा just this once. And we play total obedient and thoroughly gentle with our parents at that moment. That means we have the capacity to act obedient and be gentle with them. But we don't do it in all the situations. So attitude towards parents should be of the humility and not of the superiority. Don't think your parents are stupid, they're fools, they don't know anything, they haven't seen the world. Amma, aapko kya pata? आपको क्या पता what kind of issues I have, कैसे problems हैं, कैसी चीज़ें मैं face करती हूँ. I mean, you will only understand this scenario once you are married and you are about to have your kid and you actually have those kids and the pains you go through for the kid. And one day those kids, they stand in front of you eye to eye and say, आपने हमारे लिए किया क्या है? And if your mother tries to tell you something, you are like, so, हमारा कसूर है, आपने पैदा किया है ना, then take care of our needs. So, this is not a right attitude, but this is exactly how our family communication is. I don't understand why he won't listen to me. I have been yelling at him all day. This is sometimes what the parents do. They don't know how to communicate either. Because sometimes when the youngsters come and talk to me, I do understand that yes, probably your parents are so frustrated and out of their love and care, they mess up badly. But you can't fix other people. You always have to fix something at your own end. Whatever their parents tell them to do, they have a smart answer for that. They know how to roll their eyes, they know how to bang the door, they know how to question them over different things. अच्छा फिर ये है तो ऐसे है, आप मुझे हर वक्त कहती हैं कवर करो, I have seen your pictures, आप तो डांस भी करती थी, you used to enjoy your life, why you want to make my life miserable? अच्छा ये भी आप करती थी, हाँ. And we want to justify all our things rather than understanding that if she messed up somewhere, she doesn't want you to mess up. She wants to be extra careful about your life. So what we need to do is, when we are talking to our parents, irrespective of their shortcomings, listen, they are humans. They are not perfect. They will have good points, bad points, strong areas, weak areas. But we are grown-ups now. And we need to own our responsibility. We are accountable for how we communicate to them. And living in that house, you can make yourself happy or you can be miserable. So that you're just hanging out with your friends for longer time. The day is off and you tell your friends, suno coffee peene chalte hain. Because you don't want to go home, you dread going home. And she's like, I need to go home, my mom is waiting. And you're thinking in your heart, feeling miserable. She's so lucky, her mom waits for her. Your mom is either working or you don't have a rapport with her, or there are other issues. Sometimes you see your father and mother not at the same wavelength. And you're going through so many crises. And when you're going through all these crises, you don't know how to handle those situations. So your choice of words is important. You decide what you say to your parents. And how you decide? You role play that situation in your mind. Remember, our mind cannot differentiate between reality and fantasy. Whatever message you keep giving to your mind, it's going to absorb it and it's going to lay it out for you. So for example, you have a constant clash with your mother over something. It could be anything. Every day when you go home, while you are going home in your car, what you're role playing is, I'll enter home and my mom is going to again ask me that dreadful thing. And I just can't stand her for this. मुझसे यही बात बार बार करती हैं. So if you will enter home with that mindset, what will actually happen to you? Even if she doesn't say anything that day, your attitude is going to speak so loud, even she will get irritated. But let's say you role play in your head, when I'll enter home, because this is the issue. So the moment I'll enter, my mother is going to talk about this issue. So, जब वो ये बोलेंगी, how will I respond? You role play it, because a lot of time when people talk to me and they say, there is a messed up situation in my life, and I say, okay, tell me, and they lay out the whole situation, and I say, why don't you try this? And they're like, नहीं, मैं ये बोलूँगी, तो उसने ये बोलना है. Okay, let's move to plan B. You say this. नहीं, मैं ये करूँगी, तो वो ये करेगा. And that's when, we are in this loop and we are not coming out of it. So what you have to do is break that loop. You tell yourself, no matter what that person does, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to give out the best response. Then you need to understand the perspective of the other person. That is very, very important. And especially for your parents, you have to understand they are the most honest people on this earth who truly love you unconditionally. They might be showing it in horrible ways. But they are the only people who just love you without any conditions or strings attached. Everyone else is going to be after you for one thing or the other thing, not your parents. Remember that. That's the first bottom line message which should be highlighted in your mind and heart. That nobody loves me like my parents. Nobody cares about me like my parents. Nobody is going to be protective about me like my parents. And then you also have to understand small things that they're doing for you day in, day out. And the moment you understand that, you will also understand their questions, their anxieties, how they communicate to you. Because we are only worried about our perspective. It's like, it's my life, mom. Give me a break. Back off. क्यों मेरे पीछे पड़ गई हैं आप? Locking herself out of my life. No, try to spend some time with her. Try to find out what kind of a youngster she was, what she enjoyed. A lot of women I know, they would talk to me and they tell me that, you know, मेरी ज़िंदगी ख़त्म हो गई है, मैं तो सिर्फ बच्चों के लिए अब रह गई हूँ. I used to be such a talented person. And I've just totally given up all my desires, my interests. मेरे क्या क्या ख्वाब होते थे in my life that I'm going to be high achiever. But I gave up my career, I gave up my potentials for my kids. Even the women who are working, they make so many sacrifices which they wouldn't have done if you were not there in her life. So non-verbal messages, they are very important. Many a time I see kids, they come to me and they say, मैं तो कुछ भी नहीं कहती. लेकिन ये जो है, the shrugging of your shoulders said everything. Your mom says, बेटा आजकल ज़माना बहुत ख़राब है, and you're like, oh, her lecture starts. And that tilt of your head, neck and eyes explains everything. Like your mother is talking to your friend and the way you wink at her, ignore my mom. She'll ask you the most weirdest things. She noticed it. So your body language communicates things way more than your words. Because a lot of time kids say, मैं तो उनको कुछ भी नहीं कहती. लेकिन if you're frustrated inside, if you're unhappy with her over anything, it will be evident in your body language. You have to see how I had been communicating with my parents in the past. Now let's say if you have a big gap of communication with your parents in the past, you won't be able to fill it up immediately after this session or another session. It will take you a while to build that relationship. But you need to take baby steps. And there is lack of effective communication. You know, once I was taking this class somewhere and I had about 100 plus students. And I asked them, what kind of relationship you have with your parents? So I got mixed response. So I gave them one assignment. You'll go home, you'll hug your mom, and you'll tell her, I love you, mom. And then you'll tell her, I'm sorry about whatever I did in the past. Now the next day, so I took the feedback. I said, okay, how was the project? What did you do? You wouldn't believe. 95% of the students said they didn't have guts to do it. They said, we felt that emotion, we couldn't do it. Why? Because of this lack of effective communication. I couldn't do it. When you have a big communication gap, even if you feel love towards your parents, you can't manage it that way. So you know what I told them? I said, okay, let's start with baby steps. Now what are the different baby steps that you can take? Throw small pointers here and there. Like for example, this week you tell your mom, if she is the one who takes care of kitchen, and even if she doesn't take care of the kitchen, let's say you have a maid or a cook or whosoever, you tell your mom, Mom, this Sunday I'm going to bake something for you all. Because I just feel that I need to do something special for my family. You're not actually hugging them, but you're hugging them with the words. There are guests who are visiting you and they praise you. They're like, MashaAllah, aapki beti kitni achhi hai, and your mother looks at you, bata do? And you have this pounding, thumping heart. You're like, अम्मी कुछ बोल ना दे, अम्मी ने अगर कुछ कह दिया ना, I'm gonna be messed up. उफ अल्लाह, अम्मी ने कुछ कह देना अभी, अम्मी ने बता देना इसका कमरा तो जाके देखें. जी आपके सामने बहुत अच्छा सर्व कर रही है, आप जरा बाद में देखा करेंगे करती क्या है घर में. What you can do, a baby step. You just smile back and you say, Auntie, you know, my mother teaches me such nice things. You know, all the good traits that I've picked up, it's because of my parents. That's like hugging her. That's like telling her, I love you, mom. You know, you come someday home and you're just talking about something, you know, your exam or whatever, and you just talk to them and you say, you know, I take pride in this thing that you have put me in one of the best institutions. I'm becoming a doctor, I'm studying, and it is only because of your support. You might feel no support in certain areas, but you say it. Because the moment you say it, you give them this pride. You give them this feeling that, yes, I care about you. It's small things. Let's say the Ramadan is coming, you ask your mom. Because a lot of time we tell our moms, Ammi Ramzan aa raha hai aur usme maine bas roza rakhna hai aur sara din sona hai. Aur iftari pe, then we give them the long list. This is what I need in iftari. 5 chutneyan, pakode to must hai, फ्रूट चाट ऐसी होनी चाहिए, मिल्क शेक जरूर होना चाहिए. एंड प्लीज डू नॉट डिस्टर्ब मी बिकॉज मुझे बहुत ज्यादा हाइपोग्लाइसीमिया हो जाता है. डोंट वेक मी अप. And your poor mother, she is up for sahri, she is then there in the kitchen in iftar time, she is fasting as well. Imagine she is double your age, she has less stamina and she has multiple demands. भाई आता है, अम्मी आलू के पकौड़े. आप आती है, अम्मी मिक्स वेजीज पकौड़ा. Another one comes, अम्मी इसके साथ ये वाली चटनी. Another one comes, नहीं इसके साथ ये चाहिए. And she is juggling with multiple demands. What you can do is make her life easy. Either help her in the kitchen or lay your demands. Tell her, Ammi, let's simplify things, because it's so hot. It's hot for the servants, it's hot for you. And I want you to have good Ramadan. Eid. She buys you everything. Ask her, what are you getting for yourself? Or buy her a surprise gift. Your father, even sometimes your siblings, buy them something out of your pocket money, even small things. They are going to be the gesture of love that you lay out to your family. And when you start taking these small baby steps, it will inshallah improve your communication. So a time will come when you will be actually able to hug her, actually be able to tell her what a blessing it is to have a mom like her. But what are our communication blocks? Let us try to understand that. Blaming, judging. नहीं, I know she doesn't love me. मैं कर लूंगी सारा जो आप कह रही हैं, but at the end of the day, she doesn't care. She's not like that mom that I see my friends having. Criticizing. Actually, my mom doesn't have dress sense. My dad, he cannot speak that kind of language. Oh, for it's so embarrassing, to introduce them to my friends. Cross-examining. तुमने देखा था मेरी अम्मी ने ऐसे कहा था, हाँ? फिर मेरी अम्मी ये कह रही थी, क्यों कह रही थी? And we discuss with our friends. Avoiding. I know my mom is sitting out in the lounge, but I don't want to be there with her. I'd rather stay in my own room. And words and behaviors, they don't match whatever we say. Sometimes we are sarcastic as well. Your mom says, बेटा मैं तुम्हारे लिए लाई हूँ ये. हाँ. उसको क्या दिया आपने? इससे अच्छा मुझे ले जाती हैं आप साथ. Amma, I don't like this color, you know that. I don't wear stuff like that. Wear it for her. She'll be happy. She has probably looked around in different shops and she wanted you to wear it. What difference would it make if you wear something which she likes? It will only make her happy. So, communication, as I said, 7% of the words, and the tone, it has about 38% of impact. It is our body language which has the major impact. Your mom says, "Beta, please clean your room." Acha. The words fall on deaf ear. Tone. Acha na. And if your mother says, "Did you notice how you're talking to me?" You're like, "Ammi, acha to kaha hai? आप एक तो मुझे हर चीज पे पिक करती हैं." If the body language, अच्छा कर लूंगी. So that is when your mother's blood pressure will start boiling. So what you are going to do? Quick tips. Always think ahead about what you're going to say to them. Use simple words and phrases. Speak clearly and audibly. And always pay undivided attention to your parents when they're talking to you. Put away your phone. Nothing will happen if you don't post something on WhatsApp or Facebook immediately. It's not like a marathon race that you have to win. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.